My name is Elise Strobach, and I'm the CEO, inventor, and co-founder of AeroShield Materials. And we're working to manufacture a nanoporous form of glass that goes inside of windows and actually helps tackle more of this problem around that we've heard from all the speakers today on kind of the built environment. In particular, the thermal losses through windows cost the U.S. $40 billion in energy every year. And to see that energy and that money go right out the window is a pretty alarming number. But then when we think about, well, how do you solve problems like that? It starts to become a really complicated problem. When you think about materials that are insulating and durable and affordable and can withstand the environment that we put our buildings through. And so it was actually during my PhD at MIT that I was working with this really interesting silica aerogel, or a nanoporous form of glass. And it was, as we got better at understanding this material and actually had a breakthrough where we had something for the first time that was super insulating, actually 2 times as insulating as air, but could be clear and could go into a window. That was really the moment at which, kind of my research scientist hat changed a little bit into this entrepreneur hat to say, well, this seems like it could solve a really big problem that is really tough to address. But I also knew that at the time I couldn't even spell entrepreneur. So I didn't know what it meant to take a technology like that out of the lab and drive impact with it. And that's really where the Clean Tech Open comes into the AeroShield story for us, because, even before we founded the company in late 2019, one of the first things that we did was signed up for the Clean Tech Open Accelerator. And I think, as you've heard throughout these stories, it gave us exposure to a lot of different things. The hard skills of, making a financial model and having somebody to talk through it with, somebody who wasn't a researcher who could understand what those things meant. But it was also an opportunity for me to practice talking to people in this ecosystem. I had been used to working in the basement with materials on machines. And so the idea of going into a room of investors who would, ask questions that I didn't know how to anticipate, that was pretty scary for me in the beginning. But the mentors and the programming and the workshops and the kind of the guidance that the Clean Tech Open gives you and kind of builds to this idea of, you put together this packet of information, and it's really about exploring it and asking the tough questions and getting help and getting visibility on it and getting all these amazing opinions. And then you find that as you get advice from this amazing network and through these resources, those are also the people that you go back to that, it's 2022 and we were part of the cohort in 2019. And even now we still are continuing to explore these connections that we made during the Clean Tech Open. So, really excited to see programs like we have here today, start to identify and help even more of these researchers come out of the lab. And I would have to say, I agree that Clean Tech Open could be an excellent part of that journey for everybody here today.
Thank you very much, Elise. And if I can quote you, when you finished the program, I remember you saying to me, Clean Tech Open saved me X amount of years. Do you remember that?
I do. I think it was 2.5 years, I think, which, yeah.